All right, we are live. Welcome everybody to the Friday Night Team Sam podcast, or as Jordan likes to refer to it as Feel Good Fridays.
Woo!
We try to do that.
You're a woo girl. I just wondered what that was today.
Today's show is sponsored in part by Monster Energy Drink. Not really, but they didn't have the normal one that I get. I went to the wrong gas station today, and the energy drink that I wanted they did not have. Plus, it's 6 o'clock in the evening, so I thought I needed something that doesn't have quite as much caffeine in it. So I went with the Monster. It gives me a little buzz, but I don't want to be going absolutely crazy on these videos.
First world problems.
First world problems, which is what we're all experiencing here during this COVID-19
This is all
crisis.
world problem.
Yeah, good point, George.
We're so far away from the camera that we can't read the names, but I just noticed a little face pop up, and I swear that's got to be Brad Carey.
Let me
You
look real
know
quick.
Brad Carey.
Oh yeah.
You know Brad Carey when his little face pops up on the side. He's got to be on there somewhere.
He's not
Yeah,
actually.
I swear I saw his
Timothy
little-
Ashley Christina.
It's Brad with that famous smile that we've known since like middle school. Brad's a badass realtor, so if you guys are out to buy a house, again, he's not sponsoring the podcast, but he's always been a good supporter of what we do here.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so the big news locally for us down here in St. Louis and Fenton especially is that all the Gold's gyms are closing down for good. All the Gold's gyms decided they're shutting their doors and they're getting the hell out of here. The last few days they've had big trucks with huge trailers attached to them, packing up equipment, getting it out of here. And it was pretty crazy. I looked over there yesterday and there were like 3 step mills and a bunch of treadmills and some squat racks, and I thought, man, if I had something like a lift, I would have gone and stole some of that stuff, but it would not fit in my truck. There are some tires out there I'm still thinking about going and getting. But yeah, so that's the big news. That's what everybody's talking about right now, is that Gold's Gym has closed its doors. What's funny is Gold's, they took the whole Corona excuse. They said that this happened because Corona impacted them financially, and so they're going to shut down every single one of their St. Louis clubs, which is absolute horseshit. We know that.
Easy out.
It's a very easy out. Before this went down, though, actually, when Gold's first closed, it was the first gym out of all of us to cave and shut their doors to all this. And I said that at the time. I said, watch, they're not going to reopen. The company's been bleeding money for years. It's a corporate structure in which they dominated back in the 80s and 90s whenever people wanted something different out of fitness. They wanted that big supermarket style feel to their gyms. And spandex and leg warmers and headbands. But the industry changed a lot, and Gold's Gym didn't. And then they got very greedy, and they kept jacking up their rates every month. They started charging more for their kids' club. There's a lot of reasons for why Gold's Gym went downhill. But what we're all...
Spandex went away.
The spandex did not go away.
Spandex is back.
That's
oh my
true.
god.
It's different now, though. You know tiger stripes.
We like tigers. But with Gold's Gym closing, it gets us wondering how many other fitness studios and places around might also wind up doing this same thing. Now, Michelle, I don't remember seeing you at Gold's Gym very much. I know you were a club fitness person. You worked there for a while. But how were your experiences dealing with some of these big corporate box gyms?
I don't know, it's just very cool. It's not like the, homey feeling that you get within a local, smaller gym where everyone knows everyone is like cheers when you walk in.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually did use the Gold's location in Arnold for a little bit after I stopped working at Club Fitness because it was a little awkward for a minute. But I don't know. You could just tell that it was run down, and then it was just failing at that point.
Yeah.
So you just kind of saw this coming.
Gold's reminded me of like a celebrity. If you take like a celebrity that was really famous maybe 20 or 30 years ago.
Yes.
They were
Oh my God.
the biggest in the world. And then their time came and they got older and newer faces came in and took over and became more relevant.
Yeah.
It's like Zach from Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, that's a great
Where is he now?
analogy. I like it. Who knows?
I don't know. Mark Paul Gosselaar wrestler is pretty cool though. No,
Not
he
cool
did the right.
enough.
He didn't do
Yes,
that.
I was gold sometimes.
He became a producer and like a director and went behind the scenes. So he wasn't.
Alright, what
quite
about
like that.
Screech?
He's
Okay,
a porn star,
yeah,
and it was like a drug addict and everything. Like
Just like Golds.
There we go. Gold's Gym is like Screech. Samuel
A porn
Powers.
star and a drug addict.
Samuel Powers.
That's
From
accurate. That's
fucking
really
Saved by the
accurate.
Bell. That's what Gold's reminded me of, though. It was like an old celebrity that's way over the hill and they're not
Yeah.
relevant anymore, but they continue to like go out and fucking shout at the top of their lungs to try to get attention. And some people are still fans, but most were just kind of like, no, I do want to say something.
Dustin Diamond. That's it.
What was the restaurant they all used to go to? Remember, because the owner was like a
The
pedophile.
Peach Pit.
Yeah, there was like a pedophile with glasses.
I should know
And he
this
hit on
much
all the
about
middle
that.
schoolers at Bayside Middle School.
You could tell I watched it.
He was like, that was definitely a Northwest teacher. That had to be a Northwest teacher.
God.
But so I was going somewhere with that. But yeah, that's what Gold's Gym reminds me of. And I don't want to say that I think like all big corporate gyms are on their way out, but the time period that they have, like they just opened a Club Fitness up the street from us, and it is a tremendous gym. It is awesome. It's not like any of the regular Club Fitness facilities. It's awesome. We got a bunch of Team Sand members that go there, and it's a cool place, but it definitely affected Gold. So whenever this Club Fitness opened, I saw like half of Gold's roster
Just immediately
already
jump.
working out up there.
Yep.
And I think something that resonates with a lot of people about that Club Fitness is that it has a very large free weight area, which is something Gold used to be known for back in the day. It was more serious lifters. But I think what that brings me into, though, is the culture. And Jordan and I have talked a lot about this recently, how culture is everything. Culture is everything for a
Oh, yeah.
society,
Yeah.
but it's also important to just a business, to a school, whether you're in the education field or you're in the fitness industry or anything. The culture that your company, the culture that your society creates is going to impact things either very negatively or very positively.
It's going to change who you are.
So-
You're going to react within one culture differently than you would react
Completely.
within
Mhm.
another culture. And sometimes in the gym industry, that comes to just quitting instantly,
Mm-hmm.
all the way to the range of other bad things that could happen, or good things.
Clicks.
Yeah.
Clicks within the.
Yeah, but you can even have good versions of that.
Yeah, completely. 100%.
So the culture is very important. In fact, I think that in school, at least, like the more solid that your culture is,
Mhm.
you know, the stronger it becomes.
Mhm.
You know, you just try to establish that message of who you are,
Mhm.
and no one's going to deviate from that. And if they do, then they're outside the culture.
For sure.
I like that.
For sure. I watched in the fitness industry, I've watched the culture change tremendously. I first started getting into working out in the bodybuilding world long time ago. I was probably like 13, 14 years old, and I got into it the way a lot of people did in that at the grocery stores. Remember back when they actually had magazine aisles?
Yes.
That was like the coolest thing. Now, many of our members and
Damn,
followers
we're so old.
are
Men's
so
Fitness.
young. They're so young, they don't know what magazines
They don't know what
are.
Saved by the Bell is.
They're like, what the fuck is Saved by the Bell? So back whenever we were children, there were these things called magazines. They were printed on paper and you turn them and look at pictures and read things called words.
And they were glossy.
And so, I remember at the grocery stores, there would always be like one big section dedicated to all magazines. And since we didn't have websites or the internet back then, magazines are how you would find out about what was going on in the world of whatever it was you were into. Like I've grown up a comic book nerd. There was a magazine called Wizard. And that would like keep you up to date on what's going on in comics. You had
Yeah.
Sports Illustrated, since ESPN and all that stuff wasn't as big. You would use the magazines to follow along. So, Michelle, I am very curious what a 11 or 12-year-old Michelle, what magazines you were reading.
Oh my god. Bullshit. Probably like Cosmo Girl or whatever. Like the little ones, like thinking I was all grown.
Tiger Beat.
Right.
Tiger Beat.
I think that was a little before me. Actually, slightly. I can't remember.
Was Tiger Beat real, or was that something inside of?
No, that was
Never.
real.
I've
Was that in
never-
Saved by the Bell? Because
No, because they had the posters that pulled out and everything of all the
I'm
like
sure it's real.
JTT and
Oh no. Home Improvement. We got JAT over here. So anyway, you would have like the section for the magazines, and at like 12, 13 years old, whenever boys are going to that stage of life
Oh my god.
where they start to get little hairs sprouting in places and a little bit of hormones.
My son said, "Dad, I found a chest hair."
One.
Single lock
That's how
of
it
hair
goes. That's how
from
it
his
goes.
chest.
So
Gotta start somewhere.
there are obvious things that their mind wanders to, but there's also things that are like working out, sports, stuff like that, fighting. I was in all that. So anyway, long story short, I came across the Muscle and Fitness magazines and the Flex magazines. Now we're talking the mid 1990s, like 1994, 1995, and I came across the magazines. And also as an artist, I'm somebody that grew up as an artist, you have to learn anatomy, and so it helped having these books whenever you're trying to draw Superman and the Hulk and these big muscular figures. Well, it helps when you've got books that show you where the anatomy's at. So there was like two things that really guided me to these magazines was learning anatomy,
Good point.
but also at 12 years old you start to become self-conscious, and I was a very fat child. I was a very fat, chubby kid growing up, and I had glasses and long shaggy hair, and
I
Jordan
knew
Jules.
him back then. That's why.
Jordan made fun of me. That's how we met. We met because he fucking made fun of me in our gifted program.
There's
And
some
then-
big
They
glasses.
were
But so in the magazines, you would learn workout tips. They would always have workout advice, and they would talk about the current Mr. Olympias and have advertisements and shit like that. So when you're 12 and your body image is becoming forefront, something that affects you big time, and you're a fat kid, you start to put these together and go, oh hey, maybe if I learn what these guys do, one day I can look like that.
That's why kids are supposed to want to be superheroes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so the magazines were my introduction into the fitness world. At the time, I didn't realize that what I was seeing were people who were on tons of chemicals, a lot of steroids,
Yeah, you
and
find
doing
that
other
out.
things that made them look like big genetic freaks. And even in the mid 90s, like those guys were big. They're nothing like the freak shows that walk around now, and that's because the guys today are on drugs that would probably fucking kill a horse back in the 80s.
Those weak ass 80s.
Yeah, the drugs have come a long way. But even back then, the guys were still pretty big, and my little young naive mind didn't realize that it took more than protein and lifting weights to look like them, but it at least gave me that thing to strive towards. And what I found cool about it was it seemed like everybody wanted to help the other person. Everybody was still like, they believed in eating clean and exercise and being healthy with it. And there was so much camaraderie. Like even though some of them competed, everybody wanted to see the other person succeed.
It was a community.
Total community. And then I think I joined my first gym. I was like 17. I joined Bali Total Fitness off Manchester Road with my cousin. And it was so cool because like the guys would see
After you worked out to Billy Squire.
Yeah. This was long after that.
All right.
So, but that was my first experience. I was like 17. I got to join the Bali Total Fitness off of Manchester Road, and it was very similar to the magazines. Like there were all these people there that they were all working out together. They knew each other. They were spotting each other. Like it wasn't competitive. Maybe it was my young naive mind, but it seemed like everybody there, they were like at least 50 or 60 years old. I don't think they were, but I think because I was young and at that age,
Right.
like you see somebody that's in their 40s or whatever. And still I thought, man, these people for being old, like they're in really good shape. And they were super cool. You know, they were like, oh yeah, come on, you as the young guy. They were very open with everything.
Everything?
In the sauna and in the locker room, they were very... I have a story about Bali Total Fitness in the locker room when I first became a trainer, and I don't know if I can tell it on here, but it has to do with a man standing with his dick out and a group of other men standing around him talking about him.
Oh
That's
my
probably for another
God.
show. Anyway, So where I'm going with this, I'm going somewhere with this long ass story besides filling time, is the culture that I saw in the gym atmosphere back in the late 90s, early 2000s. At some point, things started to shift, and it went from people trying to help each other and just loving fitness and working out and getting in shape to almost like a brand. And then social media came along, and it became about the most amount of attention that they could get. And that's something I've seen when it comes to culture in the fitness industry that has changed tremendously.
That might be culture in general.
Is just how less everybody is into it. I don't know, I guess it's that word community, and I hear that thrown out a lot. Now, Michelle, you said that you didn't get into like working out in fitness until you had your first child, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you had no other gym experience before that?
That is correct.
Amazing. So the first time that you went into the gym, how did you feel?
Oh my God, when people ask me what's the scariest thing I've ever done, joining a gym for the first time is definitely up there for me because it was fucking frightening. And the way that Club Fitness was the first gym that I went to off in Hampton Village, and I was really scared, but I did it anyway. But even with the trainer, they were just like, I don't know, I didn't want to work with anyone, because it was just so brand new, it was just so intimidating. So, I just stuck by myself and stayed on the treadmill for about a year, which a lot of women do.
Yes, they do.
So that was my comfort zone when I started.
What would you say was your positive experience during that first 12 months?
Honestly, within the gym, nothing. No one talked to me. None of the trainers really bothered me. I really didn't have any other interaction with anyone in the gym, but I'm also pretty much an introvert sometimes too, so that might have been on me. But
so it's on us. So it's on the introverts.
No, the only positive influence that I really had, my sister. She had been in the bodybuilding or fitness community since high school, so I had her guiding me, and I would say that would probably be the most positive part of it.
So that already shows what a difference in the fitness community on how things have changed from whenever I first got into it as a teenager to where you were. Let's see, what was that? Probably 6-7 years ago, even that. Is that no one seems to give a shit about the other person. They lie and they pretend like they do. They say, oh, we're all about our fitness community and we're all about, no, they're not. It almost seems like everybody these days is associated with a certain brand. They have a brand of supplements, or they have a brand of gym clothing, or they have a certain person that they like to follow on Instagram, and you get very cliquish about that. And the attitudes tend to be more standoffish, sometimes a little bit arrogant.
Did you find my Lululemon pants?
I did,
And
and I'm wearing
this.
No, I'm actually wearing them right now. They're like biker shorts on me. They're really short.
But now you know that
The
I'm
deeper
lemon
that
head.
The deeper that I got into the fitness community, you started, getting to know more people and really seeing the cliques that were involved in it. And that was interesting to see because a lot of it is super catty and competitive. This is bodybuilding is a competitive sport, and when you walk into the gym, it does feel like you're walking into a jungle, really so competitive against every other girl. You can see the girls stick their chest out or whatever right next to you. I've gone head to head deadlifting with a girl right next to me that I had no idea who she was because it's that competitive fucking nature is there, and I think that's just kind of what goes with it.
That's where I think social media has made a huge impact, and that so many people use bodybuilding terminology. They use a lot of competition terminology, even though the majority of them don't actually compete. They may know somebody that competes. They might have hired a coach here or there, but they love to talk and use those terms when none of them really compete either. And and maybe this is the introvert. This is the person in me that doesn't like to fit in. This is the person in me that's not a trend follower. But I fucking hate it when there is something that's not popular yet, and you know it and you like it, and then it becomes popular, and you hear people that normally wouldn't have watched that show or done that thing start to say stuff from that show.
You're a hipster.
Yeah, 100%. But it's
Man, I
irritating, I
hate that.
understand. It's so
We all have an
irritating.
inner hipster.
But
I
like,
liked it before it was cool.
exactly, I liked it before it was cool. A lot of the terminology that people in the fitness world use now that just go to gyms and work out, but they like to pretend. They think that because they post a fucking selfie online, that they're at the level of the actual professional fitness models and competitors.
Completely.
Every dude at Gold's Gym thought that because he shot some fucking trin in his ass and got a little veiny and got a bunch of likes on Instagram that he was instantly the next Phil Heath or the
Or
next
a
Kai
girl
Green.
buys a pair of Gymsharks and Converse and their next fucking IG influencer. It's
Yes.
ridiculous.
Are you saying online life is not real life?
But
Is
they
that
think
what
it
you guys
is.
are saying?
There,
Yeah.
dude,
It's
there were a few guys.
Oh my God.
There are a few guys that do that shit where they'll follow you and you go, oh yeah, this person goes to Exist or wherever. I've seen them. Don't know them, but I've seen them. So you follow back, and then they unfollow you. So I've had this happen 3 times with 3 separate people. They went to Exist, they went to Golds. Again, I've seen them but never talked to them. And all 3 of them on separate occasions. They send me a follow, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then I go, who the fucking follow me? And I look and it's them. And so I unfollow them. And then a week or so later, they follow me again. And I go, are they doing this shit for attention? And then they unfollow me. So they do that thing where they want their followers
Trying to catch
to
you.
following to be very different because they think they look important. They think they look popular if they're following one person and they have 10,000 that they followed and unfollowed. It's the rule of numbers. They're just following and hoping that certain ones won't notice.
It's not,
What a
not
stupid ass.
terrible.
Have you
strategy,
heard the
but
rumor
not the
going
best.
around that like Instagram, they're gonna take away showing what your followers
Yeah.
are?
Yeah.
Like that would fuck. Like
Oh,
that would
that
fuck
would
shit
screw up the
up.
whole
egos.
goodbye
Oh my God.
Instagram.
Exactly.
Something would replace Instagram pretty
100% because that's
People
all it
can switch
is.
platforms because they use it for attention, but they're doing it in very plastic, manufactured ways. Like, and these individuals, I confronted them on it. The one dude, I sent him an instant message, and I was just like, man, why do you keep doing this? Like, if you're trying to look famous, go fucking do it. But I was like, I think you're ridiculous. The other one, he was on a treadmill one day up at the South County Exist, and I got him next to him. I said, hey man, I got a question. I was like, is there a reason that you're trying to get my attention? Because you followed and unfollowed me like 3 times. And I was like, I don't play that stupid shit. Like, oh, sorry bro, my bad, I didn't realize, yeah. But it's so plastic, it's so fake because everybody nowadays thinks that they're famous or thinks that if they fake it till they make it, that's gonna get them there. And what that leads to is a community of people that are so fucking self-absorbed
Yes.
and so up their own ass that, like Michelle said, when she started at her gym, nobody talked to her, nobody tried to help her, nobody cared because they're all so fucking interested in themselves. Whereas when I started way back in the day, everybody, they wanted to see new people come in. They liked that camaraderie. They say, hey, if they saw you doing something wrong, they wouldn't be idiots about it and come over and try to assert their knowledge. But they would, maybe talk to you off to the side and say, hey, we noticed when you're doing squats, try this or try that. I'm like, man, that's so different than how it is now, where everybody's obsessed with fucking image and trying to come off as something that they're not.
It's rare to
No.
find the true people that are just genuine.
It is, and the fucked up part is, I really think that the people that just want to go in, they want to work out, they want to have fun, and they want to socialize a little bit. That's part of it. But I think the real people are a much higher majority than those self-absorbed ones. But the self-absorbed ones are so fucking loud and arrogant that they make the other ones feel bad, or they drive the other ones out, and that's what's sad.
What I really don't like about it is that the fake things, like I feel like those people are just, I don't want to look posers, but
Mhm,
like
they
they are. And then they put out so much misinformation. And like I feel like that's what confuses the fitness industry a lot too, because you do have these like really I don't know, educated people in the fitness community, but because they don't have 10,000 followers or whatever, people aren't going to listen to them as much as this girl with the big fake ass on Instagram.
Oh my God, and people will go to them for information, and you have no clue whether they really know what they're talking about or not.
Right.
And that's one that always gets me is, it'll be some dude that's obviously roided out and all this other shit, or it'll be some woman that has so much fucking silicone in her ass and her breast that it should be leaking out of
Who
her
is
pores.
this woman?
So,
All over. I'll send you some stuff.
but because they might have great genetics and they took drugs and they do work their asses off, they're seen as like the knowledge tree, and everyone goes there and says, how do you do this, how do you do that? They never stop to say, look, I don't really know the human body that well, I had a coach or a trainer show me. Instead, they act like experts and they go on and give all this advice, and it really does, it misleads that average person, that normal person that just wants to learn and get better. Now Jordan, he once was an Instagram influencer. He had he had an Instagram page where he wore yoga pants and
Jordan
leggings.
Fit.
Oh,
and-
the Lululemon
So-
page. Well, it was an affiliate.
So you had like
Affiliate
50,000 followers, but that
Yeah.
cost you there was a price to pay for that.
How much?
Yeah, there was a price to pay. It was $20. It was a list from India. I got it. It was an Instagram account from India, and all they did was give me the admin credentials. I paid $20, and I had that many followers. And I just changed it to Lululemon pants, and I would pose
Lulu Jordan.
and get the angles would be flattering. They would always be flattering. Like obviously, I had a lot on my camera roll that was unusable, but a few gyms follow me on Instagram.
That's great.
I wish I had a fake Instagram account to send you to right now. It's like
We
go-
should have done that. We should.
Go to
Maybe we will.
at Jordan's butt.
We'll put it in the link
At
or a
Jordan's
link in
ass.
the
Yeah.
YouTube page.
Send you guys the link to that fake Instagram page. It took a lot of photoshopping to make it there. So gym culture, I'm gonna wrap that back to Gold's Gym, and that was something that I watched happen at Gold's over the years. Was it went from being a place that you always knew back in the day, Gold's Gym was a place that serious lifters, like people that wanted to help you and wanted to see you do well and wanted to see you succeed in this stuff. It was always seen as that. You always go back to the renaissance of fitness and bodybuilding in the 70s with Arnold and Franco and Frank Zane and Joe Weider and all them. If you ever-
Zane.
Yeah, Frank Zane
Dude,
was
I know,
awesome.
dude, he motivated me a lot.
So
As a kid.
when you go back to those days, Gold's Gym was the first like big gym. It was like the first place that they called it the Mecca. And over the years, it transformed from that to like the biggest douchebag culture. And around this area, we had Gold's Gym, we've got the New Club Fitness, there's us, we've got Orange Theory, we've got Exist, there's a couple Zumba studios up the road. If you go just a little further up, there's a Burn Boot Camp. We are oversaturated. There is so much fitness shit here, it's ridiculous.
Jazzercise.
Jazzercise. But what's cool about that, there is one thing that's cool about having an oversaturated market is people tend to look and go, okay, we're going to stereotype these places. Gold's Gym is the place you go where if you're a meathead douchebag, or Orange Theory is where you go if you're one of those Karens. You're one of those desperate housewives of Fenton and you want to pay a shit ton of money to just do a bunch of rowers and treadmills.
And if that impersonation made you mad, you're a kid.
You're probably a Karen. You're probably one of those that's going to tell on us whenever we reopen. And then Burn Boot Camp is like younger Karens. They're the same thing, but they're younger. They're more like the younger soccer mom age.
Something hilarious.
And then you got us, which we're just seen as a bunch of foul-mouthed perverts, but that's okay because they're
It's not okay
There is a
actually for
little
me. So
cheater.
be
There's a
quiet.
market for that. There is a market for that. But you really do, when you have so many different options, the market, the people, that's the best part. Businesses usually don't understand this, and that's why branding is so important. Is if you don't brand yourself really well, the people will do it for you. And it's not always what you want it to be.
That's very true.
And so when you have so many different options for a certain service or a product or an industry, you're going to get labeled as what people think you are. And when that happens, those type of people are what will come to you. So if you're seen as like the douchebag gym, well, guess who's going to be attracted to that? Douchebags and people that like douchebags.
If you're seen as giving everyone the coronavirus,
Yeah.
that's what it's going to attract.
Then
people
you're
who
fit
like
gym and
giving
hire it. No, I'm joking. We're live. I can't bleep that out. Sorry, it was a
Oh,
joke.
man.
Fit gym is not open. Fit gym is not open. But they do have a little studio that awfully looks familiar. But yeah, the market, the people, they will decide what your brand is if you are not really good at getting that message out on your own. And so that's going to bring me to something that's been sitting in my head for a while now, and I finally got some of it out the other day. I don't know if you guys watched it. I did a Facebook Live while the moving trucks were over at Gold's Gym packing up, getting that shit out of there. And
Moving weight sounds terrible.
You should do another
This is
one
a
of those
hell of a job.
videos right now.
well, their parking lot is empty.
No. Boost Mobile is open. Shout out to Boost Mobile, dude. Gangster move.
Yeah.
Boost Mobile's essential. Yeah, sure. And it's the only place you can go around here.
Dr. John's is open. right
Maybe
now.
a new. Oh yeah, Dr. John. That might be essential, given the
People
circumstances.
need
Shout out to Boost Mobile.
But so I saw Gold's, I saw the moving trucks, and I said, that is a perfect symbol. That is a perfect image. And so I went out and I set the camera up out there and I did a little Facebook Live. And during it, I was blown away at how many people were watching and were responding to the message that I was giving. And my message wasn't to slam Gold's Gym. I know I've been making fun of that place for years. I call it Globo Gym, and I say all the douchebags work out there, but I need to preface something. At one point, Gold's Gym was my home. At one point, Gold's Gym was like, I had everybody go there, and everybody join there. I worked for them. I worked for them for a while. Whenever I first became a trainer, they had scouted me, and they were telling me, we want you to work here. This is your home gym. You should be working with us. And I finally took their offer, and I worked for them for a while, and I made them a lot of money. You guys need to understand, personal training at a lot of places is very fucking expensive, okay? So when you're charging like $70 per session.
$500 a month for 8 sessions
Exactly.
easily.
And having people drop way more than that, because I would have people sign up for a year at a time. I was selling like 96 session packages. I made that company a lot of money. And I also want you guys to understand that the trainers, when you work for most gyms, we're very different from other places. Trainers at most places, they sell these overpriced training packages and they don't get to see any of that. The gym keeps it, and then the gym gives them a little tiny percentage of that when people work out. So if you got a bunch of clients and they never show up, the trainer doesn't make shit. And that stuff, that used to get to me. But anyway, even underneath all that, I did very well. I had a lot of clients. I did a ton of sessions. I did well financially. I made that company a lot of money. And every day they would tell me how happy they were about that. And bro, you want to be the fitness manager?
They called you
You
bro?
want to do this? Yes, because the
Dude, they
GM
look
at the
really like
time,
you, man.
the GM at the time, I'm not going to say names, but it was just one of those situations where I liked it there. It was my home gym. I was making money, and I was making them a lot of money. And then I was offered a very, very, very good salaried position to be the athletic director at another facility. And it wasn't that I was not happy at Gold's, but they were offering me something that was also creative. I was going to get to create my own programs as well as a salaried position, which getting a salaried position as a trainer is not regular. And I couldn't turn that up, or I couldn't turn that down. And they even told me, they said, oh, well, bro, what can we do to keep you? What do
They called
started-
you bro
Yes.
again?
Yes, bro, that's all they do over there. Bro is like
Right.
bro is like a period or an exclamation mark. They don't
means
use
brother, dude. That means they really care about you.
They did for the
They
time.
care about you, bro.
But it was like they were asking me what kind of equipment they could get. They were like, what if we get a Versa climber? Like, you've always wanted one of those. What if we get
Crackalizer.
Crackalizer? What if we get an analyzer?
A variety machine.
They were
Dude,
like,
they offered you a variety.
two. So that's all they could offer, though, because there's structure in place. Those gyms isn't set up for trainers to go much further. You start off as a trainer, and then maybe they'll want you to be the manager, and that's it. And even then, there's a cap to how much you can train. So when I got the offer at the other place, I went in. I told them, I said, look, I got this offer, and it's not anything to do with my happiness here, but you guys there's nothing you could do to match this. I'm getting allowed to create a program. I can use my creativity without needing to go through 10,000 corporate offices, and it's salary. And that's when they started to say, like, they would buy certain equipment and shit. I'm like, it's not even about that. And then they gave me the whole, bro, look, if you ever want to come back, we want you with open arms. Then I left, and like 2 weeks later, they banned me. Like 2 weeks later, they said, don't allow him in here. He'll take the members, blah, 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 which I was flattered, but whatever. And then later on, Gold's Gym buys out the 24-hour fitness in Arnold, where I was going since I was banned at Gold's. They buy it out, so now I have a membership at Gold's Gym, like 5 years later. And so I go to the one I was banned from here in Fenton, and the fitness manager, it was a new fitness manager that I went to high school with, Mr. Bill Brown. I'll give you a shout out if you watch, Bill. And Bill told me, hey, it's all different managers now. I've never had a problem with you. You can work out here. And about a year later, they banned me again.
I hear Bill's working for Boost Mobile now.
That's why they're doing gangster stuff.
Tearing it up.
But the long story there that I'm trying to tell you guys is that there was one time where I loved that gym, but then they fucked me over after I did a lot for them. And that told me a lot about that company. I watched trainers who were fucking shitty, that injured clients, that got fired, that were still allowed to come back and work out. But I got banned after making so much money for them. And it really gave me insight to their whole corporate setup and all of their bullshit that comes along with it. And then over the years, watching the fitness industry change, then having ideas for how I wanted to move forward with that, and watch that gym just get stuck behind. So any venom that I'm spitting out here at them, understand the place that I'm coming from with that company. At one point, I had a very positive experience there, and I did a lot for them. And how they returned that favor really, really pissed me off. So when I went out and I did this live video a couple days ago, I was blown away by how many people were watching, but how many were really giving me hearts and thumbs up and acknowledging it, and then sharing their stories or saying like, hey, we're with you on this. And what that really got me into was the whole message and the whole movement that I feel that Michelle and I have been cooking up since we opened this studio. We opened this studio a little over 2 years ago, and I don't think we ever straight up put it out there to say, look, we have a unique vision of the fitness industry. We have a unique vision of what we think a fitness community is. It's just been there. It's been growing, and it's just been like a subconscious thing. It's just so organic, the way that it came along. And it wasn't until I was out there and I was thinking about the fitness industry and how all these other places, that's their buzzword now, is to say we're forming a health and fitness community. Man, they are so full of shit. They don't know what a fitness community actually is. And as I was out there and I was giving the speech, it really started to hit me. I'm like, no, we do have a unique idea of what we find a fitness community to be and what we're trying to grow with this. So this is where I'm going to toss the ball over to Michelle, because I'm very interested to have her talk about the fitness community, how she sees it, what we're doing, all the ways that we've grown our actual real fitness community.
I want to show a real aspect of the fitness community, because I feel like a lot of the social media has destroyed a lot, and a lot of people have this like false sense of what it actually is, and a lot of it is just for a show, for a girl to buy a cute outfit or whatever, just to go kind of front in a gym. And I would like to bring real fitness to the general public, where it's more accessible to them, where they don't feel so what's the word I'm looking for? Intimidated by it. And that's what I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, look at these girls, like, oh, I can never look like them. I can never, like, you can. Like, you just have to do what, I don't know, you just have to do what's correct, which like a lot of girls don't. They go to the gym, they feel overwhelmed, intimidated, and they just walk on a treadmill for hours. So I want to show girls the real kind of aspect of fitness and bring it where it's accessible to them.
Which it's awesome to watch that in action. It started off, I know it was going to be it was a goofy name for a class. Originally, we wanted to do something with Michelle and call it Michelle's MILFs. It was going to be like...
What's that stand for?
It stands for...
Moms into like fitness or something like that.
It stands for Man, I Love Flags.
Okay. All right, fascist.
But yeah, it was going to be Moms in Love with Fitness or something like that. The idea was we wanted to do something where it wasn't boot camp, where it was smaller than boot camp, but it was a little bigger than like our personal training sessions. And it was all ladies, and they got to focus on lifting and not worry about all the myths and the bullshit that comes with lifting weights.
Right.
And something to build confidence and self-esteem, because that's what so many people get when they're around you. They see you and they go, man, she's so independent, she's strong, and she's
I wanted to bring
speaks
that
her
empowerment,
mind.
yes, to women. Like I would keep saying, like I want a gang,
Yeah.
an army of strong women, and that's like my whole thing is like mentally and physically strong, and you can do that in the gym.
That's it, and that's really what Booty Squad came out of. And what was cool to watch was over time it went from just saying, okay, instead of this just being a separate class, like Booty Squad, just a little class, like to make it like it's not a commercial thing. That's what it kind of felt like we were pushing with it, though, was that, oh, it's just a commercial thing. It's someone who said, look, it's an attitude, it's a way of thinking, it's a way of being. It's totally, and it's like then when you look at what we
It's a
do as a
culture.
studio,
Yes.
that's it. It's that
Completely.
culture that we talked about. And so the idea was, this is how we should be doing the whole studio. This is how we should think down here. It's straight up, like females are 90% of our business, maybe higher than that. Maybe 95% of our business are females. And in the personal training industry, that's how it's gonna go, because guys are idiots and guys have egos and they think they don't need to be shown how to work out.
What are you talking about? I have an ego.
Talk about it, bro.
Me?
Bro.
Me?
And so it's like that should be the idea for everything that we're doing down here, is like that Booty Squad mentality of empowerment and feeling confident, no need to be intimidated. And what's cool with that is like, look at how many of our members don't know each other before they join,
Oh my God.
and now they're like best friends.
We are so close. Like I had a dream about, like, literally had a dream about all of my girls that we were at a summer concert, like drinking like pitchers of beer. I'm still pregnant. I'm like, fuck it. But yes, I miss them terribly. And yeah, we have built a community. We're gonna do a big Booty Squad brunch whenever restaurants are open again.
That's awesome.
The
Um,
big bridge.
But yeah, like it's empowering women, and it's every aspect, because we have so many girls that are going through rough breakups or divorces or parenting alone, single
Yeah.
moms, all of it.
Mhm.
And we're here to support everyone. Like it is a close knit community. It's not. I mean, we're still competitive with each other, but like it's not like a hatred,
Right.
like catty thing. And I feel like that's really rare to find.
It is. It's very rare to find with authenticity.
Yes.
And that's my thing. That's where I get pissed whenever I watch places like Burn, Boot Camp, or Orange Theory, or all these places that they start to see a small movement and they go, ooh, we need to commercialize that. And so they pretend like, oh, join our little fitness community. It's like, no, it's not. It's so plastic. It's so manufactured.
Oh, the 6-week booty bod or build a booty thing.
Yeah, and it's like the way that they try to do it, it's so fake. And it's like, that's something I love that we've cultivated here, is the authenticity to it. Like, there's nothing fake about what you just said and the relationship that you have with these women and how you miss them. Like, you guys went and got tattoos. So
Yeah,
they were-
yeah, we did. Shit, we got tattoos as the girl gang initiation.
You got matching tattoos of peaches,
That's
the Booty
awesome.
Squad logo.
That's awesome.
And so what that gets is, that might seem a bit cliquish if you were comparing gym to gym, but it's not. If somebody from Orange Theory, which this happens a lot, were to come down and join our studio, awesome. Guess what? As long as you've got the right mindset and you're wanting to be cool with this shit, you're gonna be brought right into that culture. If you're coming from club, or you're coming from Burn Boot Camp, or you're coming from wherever. But don't get me wrong, we're not for everybody. We have our culture down here, but there are some of you, and if you're a Karen, this is probably gonna apply to you. Some people aren't into the cussing. Some people are not into the camaraderie. Some people only want their fitness to straight up be, I'm gonna go work out, put in my headphones. God forbid that girl looked at me or sweat. Yeah, if you're one of those, we're definitely not for you. But I think for the most part, we try to keep the cliques within the studio to a minimum. And that's really the important thing there, is within our little fitness community. We try to keep the cliques down, but that's
Sounds kind of like the.
like the Navy.
No, seriously, you got like a brotherhood, but everything is squashed internally. But there are nobody outside is a member of
Right.
what you have.
Completely.
Right. And so here, that's what keeps it authentic, though. It's not like we have a written up list of things. You don't have to come in here and wear a fucking name tag and high five each other because that's part of our corporate brand. Like,
Could
what
you
the
imagine
fuck?
if we did that like in schools, where like if you walk in, you either get a high five, a hug, or like.
Well, Jordan has like a secret handshake that he does with his
I
students,
have a
don't you?
lot of handshakes. I have many handshakes. I have many hugs. I have many retorts. I usually greet like 200 kids every
Yeah.
morning. So
Yeah.
yeah, you got to mix it up, or you
It's
Mhm.
crazy.
It'll go crazy.
And to me, it's like it's all these little things we've been doing over the last couple of years that were organic. They weren't. It was like something that was inside our brains. We never really fully brought it out though, and I think that's what's been happening. I think during this shutdown, and watching other gyms, watching other companies show you guys what they really care about, which is usually their bottom line, and then they fucking hightail it out. Look at how many of your gyms close down and aren't even in communication with you, that don't give a fuck about your results right now. That's during this time.
That's what I
that's
thought
really,
about when I saw that.
yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
And I
you're a
keep-
safety net.
Yep, safety net. That's why I don't have safety nets. Don't
No,
have
I
safety
mean,
nets.
where the place where you're working out, that's your like
Yeah.
your safety net.
Oh.
You know, that keeps
Oh,
you
yeah,
sane,
sure.
and they just pulled it out from under you. You don't want a place to do that. You don't want a place to close. You want a place to open.
I learned a different definition for safety net recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not what you were saying. I didn't know. Anyway, so anyway, I'm giving that speech outside, and that's where it really hit me. I'm like, no, we have a fucking movement. We really want to form a fitness community. I almost wish there was a better word for it. The whole our gym name, the whole Team Sam came from one of my clients way back in the day, Miss Mina, who we love so much. Mina has given me
Yes.
so many ideas over the years. I would not be anywhere close to this if it wasn't for Mina and so many of our talks while working out and some of her just genius ideas.
Sometimes I feel like Mina's a doctor, but I was like, she definitely should have gone into marketing.
Easily.
Like she's
Yeah.
so
Easily. I
good.
tell her that all the time. She gave me so many topics for these podcasts and that you should do this, do that.
Yeah.
But back in the day, it was just me and my people, and that was it. And so we would always talk about how we were a team. And so Mina was the one that we're Team Sam, and they made T-shirts and all this stuff. And so the whole idea of us being a team is what I really liked about that. It wasn't, oh, okay, well, Sam trains Miranda and Tiffany and Tyler at 4 o'clock, and that's his little group, and then he trains so-and-so at 6, and that's his group. It's like,
That's cliquish.
no, we would,
Instead.
everybody had their hour they trained, and the crazy thing was then they would come back for boot camp, and it's like, that's where that was recess. Like, they all went to different teachers, or they all had different class times, and then recess was boot camp, and they would all get to know each other. But that was the point of the whole thing, was that she said, we are a team, all of us. A lot of us don't know each other. We might train at different times, but we all have the same core values of what we're looking for out of this. We're a total team. And so that's really what the team part of the Team Sam came from, is it's like, a team sounds like a smaller version. Community sounds huge, but it's like if you use the word team, it makes it seem like it's smaller than it actually is. But that's really what hit me when I was thinking about this outside the other day, was these places that say they're trying to build a fitness community or whatever. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. They're still trying to find a way to commercialize stuff and make money. So when I look at it and I go, no way, man. What Michelle and I are trying to do down here, it's a fucking movement. It really is. It's a movement, and I think it's unique to anything else that's out there. We're not looking for people that just want to go on Instagram and be fake influencers. We're not wanting people to be a part of this that just want attention or want to use this in some way to fucking flaunt their face and get more followers or more likes. What we're looking at is we're saying the real core of what makes up the fitness market are regular people. And I don't mean regular by, they're all average body weight and body fat. I don't mean that at all.
General
That's-
public.
General public, that's right. I think
That's me.
Yeah.
your
That's me.
your biggest part of the fitness world is that they're the general public that they want to get into shape. They want to learn how to do things the right way. They want to get stronger. They want to feel empowered. They want to be a part of that. They don't want to constantly be hit on by some fucking douchebag at the gym. Get that happening all the time at Globo Gym. They're not there because they want to turn the right fucking angle and take a selfie and hope that they put it online and that a bunch of people hit on them. They have a purpose for this, but at the same time, there is a communal experience to it. They do like the socializing that they can get out of it. They do like the fact that they have people that they can be friends with. They know that they can come in and they can curse. They don't have to watch their mouth. They don't have to be so self-conscious. They don't have to say, oh shit, should I have said that?
They don't have to be scared to come in and feel
Exactly.
intimidated. It's just
Exactly.
hanging out with their friends, while working out and getting in shape. And I think it's also about just educating the general public on the correct ways to get in shape, because a lot of people even try, like they think that they're doing the right thing, and it's so far off from actually what they need to be doing. So I think that's how we're different too, is that we are actually trying to help people in real ways for real people. Yeah.
Completely. We're not just fitness gurus. You see that a lot. You see that in training. You guys understand, this is a very unregulated industry. You don't have to actually have a certification. Certification means nothing. Like Jordan had to go to school and get a license to be a teacher. We get certificates, and the only reason we get the certificates is so that gyms can put it on the wall and confuse and lie to people and go, oh, this person is NASM or ISSA, or they're from this. The certifications don't mean shit. Any trained monkey can go online and pay fucking $800 and get their little certificate. That's why so many trainers hurt their fucking clients or don't get results or get seen in some negative light, because the certification means shit. What matters is that person behind the certification. How much further are they going to go to learn? I always had an advantage in that I worked in the medical field for 10 years before this. I'm a licensed EMT. I've done the fire school. I've worked in the medical field, and I have education that comes from that background. So when I switched to personal training, it's like I would go online and take these quizzes and not even have to look at the books. I'm like, I understand anatomy and physiology and biology. I know how nutrition affects the body. What was really awesome, though, is when I watched Michelle, how much studying that she does. She watches so many different styles of training and how anatomy works and how kinesiology works, and goes, this is the best way to take this and make this happen. I will watch her live videos. I watch her here whenever she does booty squat, and I'm like, watch what she comes up with next. She'll be setting up a box and then putting a landmine and having somebody lay on it and do some movement. I'm like, holy shit, that was genius. Or I'll watch her just like today. She was on our lifting members. They've got a private page we do workouts. And she had the client doing like ab and adduction movements using a slider, a leg band, and the box on the floor.
Awesome.
And I'm like, that comes from her studying and always learning and going, okay, I want to find the best way. I want to find that next thing that gets great results. And that's where many trainers fail, is they got their certification and they just stick to their own way of doing things, which may be very limited knowledge. They don't go that extra step to constantly be learning new movements or new motions or ways to get results or ways to keep things from being boring. And that's definitely where we're different from other places.
Completely. If you're staying stagnant, like that's the worst thing you do. I feel like you're just falling backwards, because the fitness and everything industry is just constantly moving forward. So you really are just going backwards. So you have to keep evolving, evolve or die.
Mm-hmm. That's what we always strive for down here: evolution or death.
Yes.
So does COVID-19?
That's really what we are. We are COVID cells that took over host bodies. This really is not Michelle or Sam or Jordan. We are coronavirus cells that infected them. We killed them and we took over their bodies. And we are talking. Now that's Brad Carey. That's got to be Brad Carey that just popped up.
That's also the coronavirus.
Hold on, I got to know this shit now. And I went, yep, Brad Carey. Brad Carey and
Just in time.
Emily Maggard and Barb and Sarah Elizabeth and Brooke and Julie and Laura Kriska gave you some peaches, and Olivia and Tanya and Billy and a ton of, and Tristan, you better have your clothes on. You better have your clothes on this time. Oh, it's fun to scroll through there. But
Awesome.
nobody had anything that they wanted to say. I don't know. Maybe they did. A lot of times I'll check these later, and then all of a sudden comments show up, and I'm like, that wasn't there.
It's hard to read live.
All right, we're going to wrap this thing up. It is 7 o'clock. Anybody got anything they want to add?
No, I'm good.
Just wanted to say that I think Feel Good Friday might be wrong
Oh.
to sign off with,
What now?
because I feel great.
Oh my God.
And speaking of feeling great, last podcast we announced the winners to the big 8-week New Year's challenge. The challenge wrapped up a long time ago, but unfortunately we got hit with this shutdown. It's been over a month since we had to shut down, and that made me start thinking towards the future, because there's all these rumors that pretty soon the government's going to start to loosen up on this shutdown stuff, so we have to start thinking about when we reopen, which means not long after that is our big summer challenge. The big
Yes.
8-week summer challenge. These are always huge. Our summer challenge is big. This one will also be for a cash prize. It's going to follow a lot of the similar criteria from our New Year's challenge, except there might be a couple things we throw in there, some extra perks, because we know people are going to be just exploding and ready to get going once everything opens back up. So I think having the 8-week summer challenge probably going to begin around like the last week of May. But we'll be taking signups for that pretty soon. I'll have the info out on that one. And every summer we do a big party for our summer challenge.
Yeah,
And that's
we
where
do.
we announce the winners. And we didn't get to throw one this year for our New Year's because of all of this stuff.
Got to be double the party.
So we're going to have a big party. We're going to have a party that's a thank you to all of our members that have been supporting us and keeping us going during this time of shutdown. It'll also be a big summer party to celebrate the people that win that challenge. And because Michelle will be having a baby not too long after that. I definitely looked there when I was thinking of the time period. I said if we started late May, the challenge would end sometime at the beginning of July.
Okay.
So
Fingers
we're
crossed,
trying
get
to
the baby in.
trying to line up with that stuff also. So the big summer challenge, we'll be putting some information out on that here shortly, as well as some news on what happens whenever it's time for us to reopen. So
So excited.
we'll go ahead and end on that, guys. Thanks for watching. As always, this will be put up on our YouTube channel whenever we're finished. It is Team Sam Fitness. If you haven't subscribed already, then you're probably the last person on earth to do it. So go there and hit subscribe. Every week we put up 4 new boot camp workouts that you can do at home. These are 30-minute classes. This isn't like just some little ab routine that some of the other trainers are throwing up. This is a full 30-minute class. We put up 4 new ones every week, as well as this podcast. So guys, we're putting a lot of stuff out there to you for free. A lot of fitness content, a lot of fitness motivation, and things to keep you going while you're stuck at home. So just continue to share and do all that. We're not asking for your money. We're just asking for your participation and your inspiration and your love.
And there's a Friday every week.
All right.
It just keeps coming.
It just keeps happening. Can't keep
love
these
those
Fridays
Fridays.
away. Thanks for watching, guys.